Welcome back, everybody, to the world's worst fishing. I'm Chris Jones, and thank you so much for tuning in today. So today is Christmas Eve when I'm actually filming. It's a wet, rainy, dreary Christmas Eve. So I've got Landon all day with me today, so I'm home, I'm not out fishing, and I was laying in bed last night, couldn't sleep, and my son really likes to watch a YouTube video about sea turtles. And it's kind of like an underwater animated movie, much like Finding Nemo was. So I said, Clownfish, Nemo, we got to make a Nemo swim bait. So today we're gonna find Nemo. He's gonna be right here on my table. We're gonna try to skin pour using some of the new techniques with the new molds. A Nemo clownfish pattern swim bait. Wish me luck. This could be really interesting. Okay, welcome back. So if you watched my skin pouring video, which was video before last, two videos ago, you'll kind of recognize this setup here. This is the new aluminum open pour swim bait mold. So that video I was doing these perch right here. All right. Well, since then we've had a little practice. So let me show you some of the things that I've been working on. So here are some rainbow trout. Okay. Sort of some trout patterns with the pink skin poured ahead of time. These are much like the perch. This is sort of like a snake skin pattern. You can see I have two different layers, actually three different layers really going on. Kind of a swirled top there. Yeah, really cool. These are really nice. This is basically a hitch pattern. Okay. Yep, nice little hitch pattern. And last but not least, I really went way out of the box here and made like a June bug shad with some silver leafing there, and that green layer, if I can get it to focus in here, come on, yeah, that green layer right there. Geez, there we go. That green layer is color shift, and yeah, so there's a lot going on these, but it's sort of like a nuclear June bug shad, and then you guys saw those in another video. So we've definitely been practicing, but today is going to be probably our biggest challenge yet. We're going to attempt to pour a clownfish. So there's going to be a lot of patterning going on. Let's take a look at a clownfish. Pretty sure I have a picture on my phone. Yeah, I screenshotted this late last night. So basically, obviously just an orange body. I'm going to make like an orange pearl body. But then on the sides of the mold, I'm going to have to skin pour that white pattern, right? And then I'm going to have to outline it with those black lines. This is going to be quite a tall task. Let's get started. And of course, dead on plastics. That's what we use here on the World's Worst Fishing. It is the Dom Perignon of Plastisol. So what I've kind of discovered over the last week is that I like to use the swim bait blend to actually pour the skin layers. It's a little bit softer, it's a little thinner, so therefore it pours a little better, and it pours, I think it's important to get see-through layers whenever you're skin pouring, much like a capsule and the capsule method. You don't want your capsule super thick because then you can't see what's behind it. You kind of lose the illusion effect that you're going for. And then for the body of the bait, these larger baits, this one included, I like the craw tube blend. It's just the right firmness, and it's tough. It's durable. I think it's absolutely perfect. Now, some people go as far as to mix up saltwater plastic with other blends to get a certain firmness. I find that the craw tube blend does the job for me. Okay, so here we go. It's time for the first part of this puzzle, and we're going to pour these white stripes. So that's what we're going for. So we're just going to take some Lure Works white here, and we're just going to load it up I want thick colors today so that there's lots of contrast whenever I pour these patterns. So again, get that nice and stirred in. Yeah, that almost looks like straight white paint. That's so thick. Kind of smells like paint too. Okay, now for the hard part. Figuring out how to pour a clownfish pattern. So I'm just gonna kind of set my clownfish down, and it looks like there's kind of a rounded layer there. So we're gonna attempt to pour a rounded layer. That did not work at all. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Got to redo that. Okay, so I kind of already have a little bit of a curve up in there. So we're just gonna try and fill in that little curved spot, so to speak. Okay. And it might be as good as I get it, unfortunately. You know, I have no impression that this will be perfect. Now this next one's a bit of a challenge because it has to go straight down the side and then it kind of points inward. So let me think here. Oh God, nope, that's way too much. Yeah, this is gonna be a tough one. Okay, gonna try this again. Just gonna pour a little bit there. Kind of pour it down, and then boom. Okay, so by kind of allowing it to flow that way, I now have a white layer that's pointing inward. I still think it'll look kind of neat either way. And then the back is just another white strip. So we'll do it about back here where this little fin is. Okay, just a white strip. Perfect. Yeah, I mean that might be about as good as I can do this. So now the kicker is doing it to the rest of these molds without making it look like garbage. Oh, I had it. Problem is, I get too much plastic in it. All right, I'm gonna cut the camera, see if I can pour this a little bit better, not worrying about filming, and meet you back, but you kind of see what I have to deal with here. Okay, so I have all of my white layers poured here. Best that I can do. They kind of have the general effect. Now the hard part is trying to pour these little kind of black outlines. So basically what I'm gonna have to do is basically tilt the mold at an angle and try to pour a little bit of black plastic to where it kind of butts up. I could dust the mold, but I don't think that's gonna turn out. So I'm gonna have to play with that a little bit. I might actually paint hot plastic onto it with a little paintbrush. Don't know if that's gonna work, but this was the easy part, even though it was not easy. The hard part is getting those black outlines. So yeah, this may not have been such a good idea. All right, next up, make the black color. Just some regular Lureworks black, nothing special. Again, I want thick colors, lots of contrast. So here we go. That's the Dead On Plastic Swim Bait blend, by the way. Okay. And instead of trying to pour this, which I don't think will work, I might do a little bit of dip and dab, where I literally dip plastic, or dip like the end of this paintbrush here, and then I'm just kind of trying to dab it on those edges there. And it doesn't matter if I get it on, oh, there we go. It doesn't matter if I actually get it on the white, because it's not going to show up behind that. So again, literally just dipping and dotting here. And once I heat this mold, it will kind of melt those together a little bit better, which I think will just look better overall. So again, that's how I'm thinking that I can pull this off. Don't really see much other way. I definitely don't think that I can pour this. That's just me. So we just kind of want to outline the edges of the white with this black here. Okay. Do it down here as well, of course, on both sides. All right. I think that will give us the effect that we want. So, gonna try the next one here. Okay. It's not going to be perfect, but like I've always said, no straight lines in nature, right? Yeah, that'll be kind of cool. I might actually take some of that out. That's a little thick. It's too thick of a line. You know, I kind of just want to go around the edges of the white here. So, yeah, something like that. And then, and like I said, I may kind of cut some of that out right there, yeah. That was just a little bit much. So yeah, there you go. That is how I'm gonna do this, and hopefully this works. So again, just showing you what we're doing. Just kind of painting the edges there. Painting around the edges of that white. And I think this is definitely how we are gonna find Nemo. This is it. Okay. So I've got one more. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this one up. Then we're gonna mix up our orange and go ahead and pour our Nemos. Okay, so there are our pre-Nemos. So we're gonna close the molds. All right, and get ready for some orange action. I think that'll work, you guys. It'll definitely give me something neat. I have a feeling these will look pretty good. Yeah, definitely a pretty good effort. So now I'm just going to clamp these. Got to get my clamps. So just one little clamp. You can see I've been burning up some clamps, huh? That propane torch. Yeah, you can see the aftermath there. All right, last but not least, little clamp on the back is all we need. And if you're wondering why I have these sitting on a mold, or these bottom molds, is because whenever I do torch the molds after they're poured to really melt things together, eliminate cold cracks, it gets so hot I don't want to damage the surface of my table here. This right here, I have burned some holes in it before. So this is just basically a barrier, and I know I can't destroy this with the torch because it's aluminum. So anyway, we're going to mix up the orange, then pour our Nemos. Okie doke, so now let's make our orange body color. That is the Dead on Plastic Craw Tube blend. So we need basically a very, very bright orange. So I think this right here is up for the challenge. Dead on orange. And then just to give it a little bit of sparkle, and again, dead on colors are very, very thick. You get a lot of bang per buck for these. So that probably will be very opaque. And then we're going to add a little bit of white pearl to it, which will just give it a little bit of a pearlescent sheen, just so that it's not just straight flat orange. And that will lighten up that orange a little bit, simply because I'm introducing a white with the orange. And to my knowledge, I don't have any orange pearl. So we are making orange pearl. So let's take a look there. Okay, that's definitely a lighter shade of orange. So we might actually add more white pearl to it. See if that lightens it up a little bit. If not, I may have to put some chartreuse in it to brighten it some. Because the clownfish looks still more like a highlighter. Yeah, it's more like a highlighter orange. All right, let me go grab some chartreuse and or some yellow and see if that gets me a little closer. Okay, we're gonna add a little bit of dead on chartreuse. Sorry about any background noise. Sounds like the neighbors just fired up their lawnmower. Luckily, this new microphone has somewhat of a sort of a narrower scope. It's focused sound instead of just picking up everything from every direction. All right, let's see if that got us a little bit closer. It did. Golly, I don't know if I'll get it perfect or not. But we're just going to keep brightening it until we get something that I'm happy with. Yeah, that's definitely getting brighter. I definitely think the chartreuse is the way to go to get such a highlighter orange. And that is, and again, I don't know how well that's going to look, how well the camera's picking up the phone screen. Because it looks a little darker in person than I'm looking through the viewfinder. So I actually like what I'm getting there. I think that's looking pretty good. I think we're going to go with that. I'm happy with that. It's definitely in the ballpark of the clownfish highlighter orange. Okay, let's make some Nemos. Actually, we're going to start with this one. Just because I'm closest to it, I can pour it a little better on camera. Oh yeah, guys. Tell you, I'm really liking the pearl in it. Yeah, I think that's gonna look pretty nice. Set that over there. Slide the next one on down. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. Looking good, looking good. And last but not least. It's nice just pouring a solid single color, huh? I feel like all I do nowadays is pour lots of layers and laminates, and which is all great, but sometimes it's nice just to pour it straight. Okay. All right, we are now ready for the final step, which involves torching them all to be dang. Okie doke, here we go. Basically, we're just going to do that right there for a while. And I found probably about a minute or two on each side gives me the perfect results. There are no cold cracks in the bait. All the layers are melted together really nicely. It just seems to really turn out good results. So, you know, I like to just hold it up front, really make sure that the head portion, you know, the mold's a little thicker up front. It's a little thinner right there, but it's a little thicker up there. So I kind of heat each area accordingly. So I'm really going to blast the front really well, make sure the head, because you want the head to be to have a lot of integrity. That's where the hook penetrates. You know, you might even have a spring in there. So you really want to make sure that all your layers penetrate the head really well. And you can see that white is kind of starting to bubble out of the top right there. That means that the layers are getting good and gooey. And that's what you want, is your layers to melt together to where it just looks like a natural blending of colors. Okay, drum roll please. Let's see if we found him. Yeah, we'll open it up this way. Yeah, come on. Guys, look at that. We found him. It's not perfect, but we found him. Oh my gosh. And the hook slots are almost done, I promise. You know, that's not half bad. It's really not half bad. Let's take a closer look there. Ah, man, if I had continued the black just a little bit further up, that would have been dang near perfect. Okay, let's see. Let's try to get it out here. Sometimes they stick to the edges just when you get the mold so hot. Yeah, look at that, guys. That's really, really not bad. Okay, so I have my Nemos out of the bath. Just kind of pat drying them, getting them ready for eyes and clear dip. You obviously don't want to clear dip them wet for obvious reasons. So just kind of laying them out to dry. Definitely want to get all the water that collects in the eyes. You know, those little recessed eye pockets there. Water likes to collect in those if you do cure in water. So definitely be on the lookout for that. I clipped off those awful hook slot tabs. I'll be glad whenever those come in. But anyway, I think we actually hit it pretty good, you guys. So these are 10mm silver hologram eyes. These are fish skull living eyes. These are made for these are pretty much made for fly fishing, but you can use them for clown fishing. So anyway, let's get this next one out here. If I can get it off the tab with one hand. There we go. Perfect. There it is. So now we're just going to go ahead and put eyes on the rest of these. Then I'm just going to kind of clean them up a little bit. There's a little bit of flashing over the top that needs work. And just make sure that they're as clean as they can be before going to the clear dip. My clear dip is about done. It has like 10 seconds left in the microwave. So anyway, there we go. I'm pretty happy with these guys. Okay, let's get our clear dip on. Nemo number 1. Here we go. We're just going to dip them just past that second white spot. So we're going to leave the tail all natural. Again, you can clear dip all the way up the tail if you want, just adding a layer of plastic. If you're talking about functional baits, now obviously these are more novelty. If you're talking about functional baits, you know, you just got to remember when you clear dip, you're adding plastic, you're adding a layer to it. And the more mass you add to that tail, the less action it's going to have. So, well, I don't know if that'll be on camera, but I'm just going to clip off that nose. Okay. And Nemo number 1 is done. Let's get Nemo number 2. Oh yeah. Nemo number 2 is handsome. There it is, guys. We found him. That's it. There it is. Clownfish Nemo baits. Let's look at the other side. Boom. What do y'all think? Okay, and one more time, just some close-up looks here. Yeah. Looking nice. There it is. And my little kind of trick, I guess, painting that black plastic on I think did the trick. If I had tried to pour that, I just feel like it would have been a complete mess. I think I got the highlights, you know, just the way that black is just kind of highlighting the edges, you know, almost like you would see airbrushed on a crankbait. So, mission success, you guys. I really hope y'all enjoyed. If you try something like this, you gotta send it my way. I want to see your clownfish baits as well. Alright everybody, that's going to wrap this video up. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope you maybe learned something about pouring, or maybe had your imagination sparked. I certainly know I did. I had never tried something like that before, and that was my first attempt. So definitely, I think anytime you try something new and you get a good result, you gain confidence to take it a step further, you know, next time or in the future. So that's what the goal is for the channel, is to try to get as good at this crap as we can. And little fun experiments like this, although not practical, definitely help kind of push the boundaries for bait making, not only in your own shop, but for those who might see your work as well. So with that said, like I said at the beginning of the video, today is Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year. Me and Big Bird are going to be blasting off a bunch of fireworks for New Year's. I'm going to try to get some footage of that for a future video. So shoot me a comment down below. Please let me know what you think, and we'll catch you next time.